ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः।
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः।
अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते
एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते
ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः।
ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मामित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। Why Visarga is given here? Parayopetaha. Generally they will give Sakara. It's not a sure letter. Something. Ye tvaksharamanirdeshamavhyaktam paryupasate.
ये त्वक्षरमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्
सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यञ्च
तत्तमचलं
तत्तमचलं ध्रुवम्
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं
सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं
सर्वत्र
सर्वत्र
समबुद्धयः
समबुद्धयः
ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः
ते
ते
प्राप्नुवन्ति
प्राप्नुवन्ति
मामेव
मामेव
सर्वभूतहिते
सर्वभूतहिते
रताः
रताः
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम्
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम्
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिरभाप्यते
अव्यक्ता हि
अव्यक्ता हि
गतिर्दुःखम्
गतिर्दुःखम्
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते।
देहवद्भिरवाप्यते
अर्जुनस्य प्रश्नरूपेण अध्यायस्य आरम्भः एवम् इति एवम् एवमिति इत्युक्ते मत्कर्म परमो भव मद्भक्तः इति पूर्वम् उक्तम् तत्प्रकारेण एवं सततयुक्ताः निरन्तरं सदा युक्ताः संयुक्ताः के ते भक्ताः ये भक्ताः त्वां पर्युपासते परितः सर्वतः उपासते उपतिष्ठन्ते ते इति ये भक्ताः सगुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः वर्तन्ते ये अन्यः अपि भक्तः अस्ति अन्ये भक्ताः अपि सन्ति के ते ये उपासते तेषाम् उपासना विषयः कः निर्गुण ब्रह्म इति निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः अतः अक्षरम् अव्यक्तम् इति पदेन तेषाम् उपासनायाः विषयं निर्गुण ब्रह्म इति ज्ञातुं शक्यते ते तयोः मध्ये निर्गुण सगुण ब्रह्म उपासक निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासकयोः संन्यासकर्मयोः इति यथा पूर्वं पृष्टः अर्जुनेन तद्वत् अत्रापि तयोः के योगवित्तमाः अतिशयेन वित्तमाः योगवित्तमाः योगविदः योगवित्तमाः श्रेष्ठाः के इति प्रश्नः भगवान् उवाच भगवान् किम् उक्तवान् मयि विश्वरूपे मयि ये मनः अंतःकरणं चित्तम् आवेश्य प्रवेश्य निधाय having placed नित्ययुक्ताः ये उपासते कथं श्रद्धया आस्तिक्य बुद्धिया परया श्रद्धया उपेताः अन्विताः उपेताः endowed with परया श्रद्धया ये उपासते ते मम मते मे मताः युक्ततमाः इति युक्ततमाः ते एव श्रेष्ठाः इत्युक्ते कर्मयोगिनः सगुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः श्रेष्ठाः इति भगवान् उक्तवान् उक्त्वा निर्गुण अत्र प्रश्नः उदेति निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः किं न श्रेष्ठाः न निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः मामेव लभन्ते मामेव ते लभन्ते मत् अभिन्नः मदभिन्नः ते ज्ञानी तु हे आत्मै मे मतमिति भगवता पूर्वमुक्तम् अतः ते ईश्वरात् अभिन्नः अतः अत्र तयोः कः श्रेष्ठः इति प्रश्नः अपि अनुपपन्नः यद्यपि अनुपपन्नः तथापि भगवता उक्तं सगुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः इत्युक्ते कर्मयोगिनः योगवित्तमाः श्रेष्ठाः इति उक्त्वा निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासक विषये उपासक ते के विधाः इति उक्तवान् ये तु तु वैलक्षण्यार्थे सगुण ब्रह्म उपासकात् भिन्नः निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः तु तदर्थम् एव तु वैलक्षण्यार्थे तु ते अपि भक्ताः एव ते सर्वभूत हिते रताः सर्वेषां भूतानां प्राणिनां हिते प्रिये सदा रताः निरताः सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः सर्वत्र इष्टनिष्ट विषयेषु सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः तेषां बुद्धिः मतिः समा भवति तुल्या भवति त्रिघाटु रागद्वेष त्रिघाटु हर्षविषादाभ्यां रागद्वेषाभ्यां तेषां बुद्धिः मतिः समा तुल्या भवति सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः तुल्यप्रज्ञाः इत्यर्थः सम्यक् नियम्य इन्द्रिय ग्रामं भाग्येन्द्रिय ग्रामं ग्रामं समुदायं समूहं सम्यक् निरुद्य नियम्य किं करोति सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः संयमेन्द्रिय ग्रामं ते ते किं कुर्वन्ति ते मामेव प्राप्नुवन्ति ते उपासते ते उपासते अन्ते मामेव प्राप्नुवन्ति ते उपासते ध्रुवं शाश्वतं नित्यम् अचलं निष्क्रियं कूटस्थं परिणामरहितं कूटस्थं निर्विकारमित्यर्थः अचिन्त्यं चिन्तयितुम् अशक्यम् अगोचरमित्यर्थः चिन्त्यं यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह सर्वत्रहं सर्वत्र प्राप्तुं पूर्णमित्यर्थः सर्वत्र पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णम् अव्यक्तं न व्यक्तम् इन्द्रिय अगोचरम् अनिर्देशं न निर्देष्टुं शक्यते शब्देन किं तत् अक्षरम् अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं ते उपासते अक्षरं ब्रह्म उपासते इत्युक्ते निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासकाः ते ते मामेव प्राप्नुवन्ति ते मामेव प्राप्नुवन्ति इति निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासक विषये भगवता उक्तं चतुर्थ तृतीय तथा चतुर्थ श्लोके उक्त्वा from the fifth shloka is Bhagavan says Bhagavata uktam kim uktam this nirguna brahma upasana of the nirguna brahma upasaka this is highest form of bhakti jnanam eva bhakti is not different from jnanam in this when the upasana vishaya is nirgunam then the bhakti is jnanam that leads to moksha that bhakti is the greatest bhakti therefore but it is difficult क्लेशः तु अधिकतरः अस्ति क्लेशः अधिकतरः तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्त अक्षर रूप उपासने अधिकतरः अतिशयेन अधिकः किं क्लेशः अधिकः भवति Kleshaha is object of upasana is nirguna. Therefore, klesha has to be more chitta sthiti. That chittam can be placed only when it is a vishaya, Chittam which can perceive. But Nirgunam, no Rupam, Ashabdam, Asparsham, Arupam, Avyayam, Yatadresham, Agragyam, Agotram, Avaranam, Achakshushrotram. How can one do upasana, meditate on that? Therefore, Kleshaha, Ayasaha, Adhikataraha. Therefore, and that for whom? That also, as Bhagavan says, Kasmat Yasmat Degavat Bihi, Degavan, who has body consciousness. So therefore, Avyakta Chetasam, Nirguna Brahma Upasana and Nirguna Brahma Bhakti is Avyakta, it is Kleshaha for Avyakta Sakta Chetasam. Therefore, it is Adhikarataraha, it is not easy. The person has to be prepared for that. It means Avyakta Sakta Chetasam who try to fix their mind on Avyakta Brahma. If the person is not prepared, it is Kleshaha, it is Adhikataraha. Because Degha Vadbihi, Degavan, Dega, body consciousness is more Degha Abhimana. The person has to transcend to some extent Degha Abhimana, Ragadvesha. So therefore, it is impossible. It is impossible for those who are not prepared. So for them, what is the means? Saguna Brahma Upasana, Saguna Brahma Bhakti. Other words, Karma Yoga. So Nirguna Brahma Upasana, that is gained with difficulty. It is not easy. That is why Kleshaha. Saguna Brahma Upasana is not difficult. Therefore only Karma Yoga, Karma Yoginaha, Karma Yogisa, Yoga Vittamaha, Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha, Karma Yoginaha, Yoga Vittamaha iti uttama. So it is not Karma Yoga is superior, but it is that for which these people are eligible or fit. It is not easy for people to contemplate on Nirguna who are not prepared. Not possible. Therefore, Kleshaha Adhikataraha. Iti Uktavan Degavadbihi. Avyakta hi gatihi dukkam Degavadbihi avapyate. Avapyate prapyate Degavadbihi. Gatihi, that is Gatihi dukkam Gatihi. Degavadbihi, this Avyakta, Avyaktaha, Avyakta Vishayaha, Avyakta Rupa, Ishvara, Gochara, that Gatihi, that Praptihi, that is Dukkam, Kashtam Bhavati. Kashtam Yata Bhavati, Tata Bhavati. Therefore, ke Vishishtaha, ke Yoga, ke Vittamaha, Yoga Vittamaha, Akshara Rupa, Ishvara Upasakebhyaha, Vishwarupa, Upasakaha, Vishishtaha. Like in the 5th chapter, what we saw. Ke Vishishtaha, therefore Vishwarupa, Ishvara Upasakaha, ityukte Saguna Brahma Upasakaha, Vishishtaha. There is no comparison, but it is for that only they are eligible, they are prepared, therefore eligible. There is no difficulty as it is in the case of Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Therefore, Avyakta Rupa Ishvara Upasakebhyaha Vishwarupa Upasakaha Visishtaha Yoga Vittamaha iti Bhagavata Uktam. The reason is Avyakta Brahma is difficult to be contemplated upon if the person has more body consciousness, Degavadbihi, Karta, Bhokta, Degavan, Te Mama, Aham, Tesham. When all these things are there, Ragadvesha, then how can a person meditate on Nirguna Brahma? It is Kleshaha, Adhikataraha. Kleshaha, anyway, it is the difficulty, but it is Adhikataraha, it is more. Having said that, then what they should do, that is said further. Since Klesha is Adhikataraha with regard to Nirguna Brahma Upasana, therefore question comes, then what is the next step? That is said in this Shloka number 6 and 7. 6 and 7, let us read together. Like we read 3 and 4 together, similarly 6 and 7. Ye tu sarvani karmani magi sanyasya bhatparaha
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि
मयि
सन्न्यस्य
सन्न्यस्य
मत्पराः
मत्परः
ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate
अनन्येनैव
अनन्येनैव
योगेन
योगेन मां ध्यायन्त
उपासते
उपासते
तेषामगं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात्
तेषामहं
तेषामहं
समुद्धर्ता
समुद्धर्ता
मृत्युसंसारसागरात्
मृत्युसंसारसागरात्
भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्
भवामि न
भवामि न
चिरात्
चिरात्
पार्थ
पार्थ
मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्
मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्
Bhagavan gives now the steps, preparatory steps. So Nirguna Brahma Upasana, since it is difficult, therefore it is difficult for most of the people. Therefore, he says, Ye referring to Avyakta, Akshara, Rupa, Ishvara, Upasaka, Vyavrityartaha, tu, and Ye referring to Ye referring to the people, Janaha. Who are those people? Not Akshara, Avyakta, Brahma Upasaka. The tu is used to make the Vyavrita, to distinguish from Avyakta, Akshara, Rupa, Ishvara, Upasaka. Upasaka. Egi Vyavrityartaha tu, Vailakshanyarte tu. So, ye referring to Saguna Brahma Upasaka. Those who are not yet prepared for Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Otherwise, Sannyasa. Otherwise, Jnanam. So, ye referring to Karma Yoginaha, Bhaktaha, Saguna Brahma Upasakaha. Here all the words will be Saguna Brahma Upasaka because Bhakti Yoga, therefore Upasana. Because Arjuna asked, that was in the same way, it is question or answer also. It is nothing but Karma Yoga and Sannyasa comparison. Same thing. Sarvani, before answer also, you will see similar as we saw in the 3rd chapter. So, ye sarvani karmani mahi sanyasya. Sarvani karmani. All the actions, sakalani, sarvani karmani. All the ye tu, sarvani karmani. To distinguish these karma yogis from Akshara Brahma Upasakas. Ye karma yoginaha, Saguna Brahma Upasakaha. Ye dedicate all actions. Mayi. Sanyasya means not sannyasa. Sannyasa doing that with Ishvararpana buddhi. For the sake of the Lord. Parameshwara Prityartam. All the karma, sarvani karmani, sakalani karmani, whether lokikani va, vaidikani va. Mayi, in me. Who is this me? Vishwarupa Ishvara. Not Akshara Brahma. Not Avyakta Brahma. It is Vishwarupe Ishvare Mayi. Sanyasya. Samarpya. Samarpanam. Ishvararpana buddhya karma samarpanam. That is karma yoga attitude. Dedicating all actions which are done in accordance with dharma, not violating dharma. Keeping aside raga dvesha. Performing all actions, the actions which are keeping with dharma because that is the order, therefore not violating the order. Performing karma, that is Ishvara Upasana. Then only one becomes a yogi, karma yogi. So Mayi Ishvare, Vishwarupe. Sanyasya Samarpya, having given. And Matparaha, another word. Matparaha is Aham Vishwarupa Ishvaraha Paraha Prakrishtaha Tesham. Yesham te. For whom I am the goal, keeping me as the goal. Aham is Vishwarupa Ishvara is a goal for them. So Ishvara is the end, Vishwarupa Ishvara. Therefore, they also, Ishvara is the end. In the beginning, they are karma yogis. Later, they become sannyas. When Ishvara is the end, then sannyasa then means committed to gaining Ishvara. That is what sannyasa. So therefore, preparing oneself for the end. The end is jnanam, that is sannyasa jnanam. Preparing for the end. How? By gaining chitta shuddhi. Therefore, the person becomes a karma yogi, neutralizing ragadvesha. So that is the end. The jnanam is the end. Karma yoga is the means. Therefore, moksha is the end. The end has to be known. Therefore, knowing the end, the means are taken. Otherwise, if you are not clear about the end, there is no purushartha nishchaya. Then the person will be doing endless things endlessly. So therefore, the clarity is the clarity that Ishvararpana, Ishvarar, Ishvararpana buddhya karma kurute, karma karomi iti. The goal is to gain Ishvara in the form of knowledge. Therefore, jnanam is the end, moksha is the end. Therefore, matparaha doesn't lose sight of the goal. That is possible only when there is clarity with regard to the purushartha. Otherwise, when dharma or kama or artha becomes dominant, then they lose track. Therefore, they don't lose track. Aham Vishwarupa Ishvaraha eva paraha prakrishtaha esham te matparaha. Then matparaha mam ananyenaiva yogena mam Vishwarupa Ishwaram mam dhyayantaha upasate, not dhyayante, dhyayantaha. It cannot be dhyayante also. So dhyayadatu parasmipadi. So dhyayantaha it is shatranta. Chintayantaha ityartha. Smarantaha, dhyayantaha. Dhyayantaha santaha upasate. Being meditating, meditators, meditating, dhyayan san. Ananyena yogena. Mam dhyayantaha ananyena yogena. So ananyena yogena. They worship me, constantly think of me. They offer to me the karma. To me, the Vishwarupa Ishvara, ananyena yogena. By yoga, by fixing the mind on me with undivided bhakti. There is no division in their bhakti. It is unflinching devotion. No other things. Second thing is not there. Na vidyate anyaha, bhaktavyaha bhajaniyaha, yasmin yoge, saha yogaha, ananya yogaha. There's something called ananya yoga. That is that yoga, that karma yoga, in which there is no other thing. Ishvaraha eva bhajaniyaha bhaktavyaha. Ishvarartham eva karma iti. Tad bhakti. Dhyayantaha smarantaha san. Kadachit na vismarantaha. Never forget the Lord. Upasate, they do worship. Upasate. Ye upasate. Ye upasate. Those who worship. Ananyena yogena. Mam. Vishwarupa Ishwaram. Ye upasate. Tesham. Those people. Ke Maya Veshita Chetasam. Mayi Aveshita Chetasam Te. So Tesham, they have totally fixed their mind on me. Mayi Vishwarupa Ishware Aveshitam Prayuktam Chetaha aveshitam aveshita chetasam. Chetasam chetas antakaranam. So in me, the chetas, the antakaranam is fixed. Mai praveshitantakarananam te. Mai Ishvare. Bhaktya praveshitam. Praveshita chetaha antakaranam egi. Tesham aham kim. Tesham bhaktanam aham samuddharta. Samuddara. Uddara. Sam plus ud plus khr dhatu. Khr means to carry. With upasarga, the meaning changes. Mo Rama mam uddhara. We say, Hey Rama mam uddhara. Lift me up. So therefore, lift up from what? Bhagihi dharta. That is samuddharta Ishvaraha. Question comes. From what? Mrityu samsara sagarat. From this sagara, from this samsara sagara, what type of samsara it is? Mrityu samsara sagarat. Mrityu samsara sagarat is Mrityu yukta samsara sagarat. The samsara is not Mrityu. That is samsara which is endowed with Mrityu, Maranam. So this Mrityu yukta samsara sagara. Samsaraha eva sagara samsara sagara karmadharaya. Mrityu yukta samsara sagara madhyama padalopa samasa. So madhyama pada mrityu yukta samsara sagarat tesham of them aham samuddarta Bhagavan, I am the lifter. So Bhagavan lifting requires lot of anugraha, and of course anugraha in the form of our own karma pala. By our karma, we please the Lord and we get His anugraha, and therefore He provides all the conditions required for Atma Jnanam. Therefore, Tesham Aham Samuddarta Uddharta Bhagirdarta. I take them out. How much time do I take? Nachirat, not after a long time. Kshiprameva, immediately. Mahi aveshita chetastam tesham aham nitya samsara sagarat samudharta bhavami. How much time? Na achirat, not after a long time. Kshiprameva, immediately. Kshiprameva aham samudharta. Aham Ishvaraha samudharta. Mrityukta samsara sagarat. Mrityu is ajnanam, not just death. Death is also ajnanam. I am born, ajnanam. I die, it is ajnanam. What is Janma? Janma is nothing but Sharira Yogaha is Janma. Stula Sharira Yogaha Janma. Stula Sharira Viyogaha Maranam. It is only yoga and viyoga of the Linga Sharira with the Stula Sharira. But it has become so much. Mrityu means death, very frightening. It is not so. It is just a yogaha and viyogaha. Stula Sharira Yogaha Janma. We are happy. But we should not be happy for gaining Stula Sharira, because along with Stula Sharira, all the other Shadvikara, all the problems come. In fact, one should not be happy for taking Janma, because problem starts. And Viyoga, there is no worry also. Jatasya dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Therefore, here Mrityu samsara, means not death is an aspect. Therefore, ajnana yukta samsara. From that ajnanam, I lift them up, not after a long time. Nachirat, he partha, nachirat. So, na shabdena samasaha. Chirat, it should be achirat, but nachirat. So here, the na shabdena samasaha ataha na lopaha bhavati. So it is chirat, achirat, and nachirat also is there. Achirat. Nachirat is one word. Chirat. Nachirat aham samudharta aham urdvam neta. Tesham maya veshita chetasam. So the maya veshita chetasam referring to the attitude of the karma yogi. They always have me in their chetas, in this buddhi. Tesham aham samudharta. So this is, if Nirguna Brahma Upasana is difficult, then this they can do. They can be a karma yogi and follow these steps. In fact, this is not it over. It is said in the continue the next shloka. This is the second option. Nirguna Brahma Upasana is klishta bhavati. For those who are not prepared, therefore they can take to this Saguna Brahma Upasana, Karma Yoga iti. Then further he continues. Mayye namada mana adhatsva mayye buddhim niveshaya
मय्येव मन
मय्येव मन
आधत्स्व
आदत्स्व
मयि
मयि
बुद्धिं
बुद्धिं
निवेशय
निवेशय
nivastishyasi mayyev atahurdhum na samshayah.
निवसिष्यसि मय्येव
मय्येव
अथ
अत ऊर्ध्वं
ऊर्ध्वं
न
न
संशयः
संशयः.
So Upadesha is very clear. Instead of Akshara Brahma Upasana, take to Vishwarupa Bhakti. So by Vishwarupa Upasana, that also will help you to gain finally freedom, moksha, by Ishvara Anugraha. Therefore, fix your mind on me alone. Mayi eva. Mayi eva manaha. Mayi, fix your mind. Manaha also is used, buddhi also is used. Two words. Both are antakaranam only. But we give different explanation. You will see. Mayi eva. Mayi is whom? It is Mayi eva. Eva is avadharanarthaha eva. Eva. Mayi eva in me, that is not avyakta aksharupa Ishvara. Vishwarupa Ishvara, that is avadharanat. Mayi Vishwarupa Ishvare. Manaha Chittam Antakaranam Adatsva. Lut. Stapaya Apurvaka Dhadatu Adatsva. Fix. Stapaya. Mayi Vishwarupa Ishvare Manaha Adatsva. Mayi Manaha Adatsva. And Buddhim Niveshaya. Manaha Chittam Antakaranam. What about Buddhi? Nishchayatvikam Matihi Pragyam. Mayi eva praveshya. Nishchayatmikam Matihi. Buddhi is, mind stands for all the emotions are in the, or which are manifest by the mind. So the Manaha meaning mind, Antakaranam, that stands for the emotional personality of a being. And Buddhi is Nishchayatmika. Nishchayatmika, both mind and Buddhi are fixed on the Lord. When the mind is fixed, that emotional mind, it is fixed in Ishvara. But Buddhi may not be, because there is no Purushartha Nishchaya. There is no clear understanding that Vasayatmika Buddhi, that well ascertained understanding of what one wants in life, that Purushartha Nishchaya, that moksha is the goal. That is not clear. There is Purushartha Nishchaya, that Viveka is not there. The Buddhi is now with the lack of Viveka. Therefore, Buddhi may not be placed in Ishvara, possible. If you have Purushartha Nishchaya, then only the pursuit also is meaningful. So therefore, Buddhi also, Buddhim Niveshaya. Manaha Adatsva Mayi Buddhim also Niveshaya. Therefore, place your mind, intellect also in me. Or we can take the Buddhi. May Buddhi enter into Ishvara by proper vichara. May your Buddhi enter into Ishvara by vichara. Vichara is required, inquiry. So may your Buddhi be committed to Ishvara vichara and mind be committed to Karma Yoga. So Manaha Mayi Adatsva, Buddhihi Mayi niveshaya, nischayena, niveshaya, tad buddhihi nishyatmika matim pragyam mam praveshaya. Ahameva paramaha upasyaha vishayaha iti. That is the niveshanam, praveshanam. Nishchunushva, to make very clear, that is, ahameva paramaha I alone is the parama upasya vishaya, iti. And nivasishyasi, when the person does so, then what happened to that person? Mayeva nivasishyasi, he lives in me alone. What is the palam? The palam is said, if the person does manaha adatsa mayi buddhim niveshaya, the person places his mind and buddhi in the Lord, then what is the result? Then you will live in me alone. You will be never separated from me, who is Vishwarupa Ishvara. So mayi eva nivasishyasi nitaram vatsyasi. Ni is nitaram, always. Jivan, while living, mayi eva nivasam karishyasi. You reside in me alone. Your nivasa is in me alone. So mayi eva nivasishyasi nivasanam karishyasi tum. You will be never separated from me. You are never separate from me. That is the truth. But that is the palam also. You will ever abide in me alone. Shankaracharya explains, you shall live or abide in me alone. You shall enter into me in the form of myself. There is only one limitless Chaitanyam. The Jivatvam resolves by giving up its wrong notion, resolves into Paramatma. The Jivatvam is gone. That is what Jiva entering into Paramatma, merging into. There is no merging. It is Jivaha Ishvaraha eva Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva na Paraha. That is what the freedom, that is the mukti, the goal of the sadhana. So Mayeva Ata Urdvam na Samshayaha. Ataha Asmat Urdvam. Ataha Asmat Urdvam na Samshayaha. Urdvam is Anantaram. Asmat Anantaram na Samshayaha. There is no doubt. Ataha Urdvam na Samshayaha. You will live in me alone. Mayeva Nivasishyasi. Ataha Urdvam. There is no doubt with regard to that. Ataha Samshayaha na Kartavyaha ityartaha. While living, you live in me alone. Mayi nivasam karishyasi. After maranam, sharira patanat anantaram, urdvam. Later also, you live in me alone. That is, while living, jivan muktaha san mayyeva nivasishyasi. After giving up the body, shariram, then also you continue to live in me alone. Will you become something different? No. Will you get separated from me? No. So therefore, Jivan eva mayyeva nivasam karishyasi. Maranantaram api eva mayyeva nivasam karishyasi. Atra samshayaha sandegaha nasti. Ata urdvam na samshayaha. There is no doubt with regard to that you becoming separate from me after gaining this knowledge. You live in me alone. So manaha adatsva mayi. Manaha niveshaya buddhim niveshaya mayi. And the result is mayyeva nivasishyasi. You will live in me alone. Anantaram also you live in me alone. Maranantaram api. You live in me alone. So that's the end is talked about. So after gaining jnanam, by following Karma Yoga, Saguna Brahma Upasaka, they gain me alone. There is no doubt with regard to this. He says, therefore, the means here is Karma Yoga. Saguna Brahma Upasana. That the person has to take up. If he is not ready for Nirguna Brahma Upasana, the end is same. Nirguna Brahma Upasakas already, they are me. They have they are me alone. And Saguna Brahma Upasaka, otherwise called Karma Yogi, they also reach the same end. Iti Uttam. Then next shloka, 9th shloka, the third in the step, if the second step also difficult, then the third step is given. So different steps, preparatory steps are given. If one is not possible, next one. One is not possible, next one. So now the third step is given. First one is Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Second one, Karma Yoga Buddhya Karma Kuru. Having done, you will come to me alone. That also difficult. Then what to do? That is talked about in the further shloka. We will see the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgadena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devahya Tasmai Namaha Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Dhanyavadah.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರೀಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.